Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LTA North. Spring 2025.
That wave.
All right, Shaden has already lost his Arctic armor. Pretty big defensive layer not available if they decide to full send this dive. And it looks like that's going to be the plan. Inspired, leading the charge here at the start. Montu lands the rain of arrows. 30, first blooded immediately, and Busio barely gets away. Calculated by FlyQuest, and they aren't done yet. Shaden still got to try to escape. The Sejuani double killed now as Masu's just getting all sorts of money. One more hit's going to be required. Isles falls, and just like that, FlyQuest have a 3-0. Survivability in these quick, short, bursty trades, doing a lot.
Oh, Shaden looking.
Yeah, Shaden has found his way into the mid lane finally. Dignitas are on the board as Shaden sets it up for Caney to get paid.
Yeah, nice response from Dig, right?
And it feels like he just TP'd back after getting harassed down. He knows there is a potential of a dive because they're taking Dragon, so they're just going to force this.
I mean, you can just look at the cooldown of his teleport to see the story of how they're on Surdy yet, and that means Whippo is honestly one more push away from taking the turret. Here he is. The last auto attack will seal the deal, and now Surdy surely knows he doesn't win the fight anymore. Too low on mana, fighting the top side. His squad dies. Dignitas making the move with the multi-dive there from everybody else. Surdy is close enough, is caught up enough to have his own first fully completed item. It's still pretty scary to continue to deal with these Trinity Force procs. It's still obnoxious in the 1v1. I feel like Whippo will probably still be able to continue putting on this pressure for quite a while, as Dignitas now, they've got another neutral objective they have to try to contend with, as Inspired and FlyQuest are starting up the second Drake of the game. Isles jumps in, going after Masu. Buzio's Pop Blossom finds nothing. Beautiful counterattack from Shaden to lock him into the Glacial Prison. Isles barely gets away with 50 HP, but the Drake has already been slain by Inspired, and now Dignitas has to be careful. Whippo's still looking to find a little bit more as Inspired chases after Shaden, and Whippo flashes over the wall to find the kill. Now the second one comes through for the top laner as Isles finally falls. Quad walks away with 20 HP, and Whippo is not done yet. The Nidalee continues putting the pressure on as Dignitas are forced further and further Trinity back. Auto that killed the last 200 or so HP that Isles had after Whippo jumped after him. He misses the Nidalee spells. Isles jumps out of the way, but the spear is in the air, and that auto attack's going to buffer through.
The spell is just to give you the sheep proc.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's all it's for. It makes your hand glow red, and then you get to kill the guy with Dignitas with a 700 gold lead here. But you can see Surdy has not found the point where he can deal with Whippo at all. Just running down the J, so much damage with Masu to help out. Whippo goes on a killing spree, and Surdy has no home here on Summoner's Rift. Whippo has kicked him out of the top lane, kicked him out of the jungle, and continues his reign of terror in the side lane.
Oh, it's just so miserable.
It's the worst.
When this Nidalee works, it's awful.
Nice engage coming out there from Shaden to try to catch Quad, but it's not enough. The follow-up damage can only take him to half HP, and Isles dies trying to get in.
And look at top. You're going to lose that top lane tier 2 as well. It's going to be solo gold for Whippo. Pretty much guaranteed. They can't get up there, so he's going to get even more rich. He was already way ahead. Killed off Surdy with the help of Masu, and they know you have to answer top, so Inspired just goes bot. Quad is down here. Masu is moving. This is a free Otacon, and this is FlyQuest, I think, taking an insurmountable lead in game 1.
I do love to see it because I love when teams actually use their split push pressure correctly, right? Like, I really, really love what FlyQuest have been doing.
Are you sure it's not because you hate top laners and want to see them suffer?
I have to eat my words maybe on the Nidalee top for this game only. But I do think, again, like, this is exactly what you are supposed to do.
All right, we'll see if Dignitas can stall this one out, but it is such a big early lead for FlyQuest, and they're moving towards Soul. Third Dragon's available. They're fighting for it.
Inspired jumps in. Has to drop the Crescent Guard pretty quickly, though. He gets dropped to 40% as he tries to find that initial engage. The rest of FlyQuest isn't there for the immediate follow-up, so Inspired just going to use the chicken camp there to fuel back up a little bit, siphon some HP. Dignitas are starting up the Dragon, and FlyQuest don't want to allow them to stop that Soul stack. Whippo making his way forward towards the Dignitas lines. Chains of Corruption finding massive Pop Blossom from Buzio. He's on a rampage, and Dignitas is on a one-way road to the cemetery. A beautiful engage from the FlyQuest support. It costs his life, but it does not matter. It's a 5-for-1. Triple kill for Masu. Double kill for Buzio. Massive team fight for Fly.
It is crazy because when you see a fight like that, you're like, that's going to be Baron 2. Baron has not even spawned. They're just going to go for the base here. They take the tier 2 mid. They take the tier 2 bot. They're going for the inhibitor towers as well. FlyQuest are stomping Dig in game 1.
And what a stunning team fight.
Back Drakes and Dignitas had to stop them. They technically stopped the Drake stack. Now Masu trying to get away as Shaden goes for the engage. Masu using both summoner spells there. Looked like the cleanse might have been slightly early. Still able to stick it around a little bit. As now Isles too far forward, might just get punished. Quad goes in for the shuffle back onto Shaden as well. Isles is the only one to drop right now, but Bwipo is not happy with that. Gonna continue keeping the pressure on, going after Shaden. Jumps forward yet again. He has no mana, but he does not need it. The right click dominates the top lane in game number 1. Immediately deny Isles any opportunity for entry into the fight as Tomo goes after the FlyQuest AD carry and he finds the kill, but it'll be AD for AD. The Varus and the Ezreal both fall, but FlyQuest have secured the Baron.
Yeah, playing with fire a little bit.
They've been two of Bwipo's biggest answers to the pick, and he's like, great. Here's number 3.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to deal with these guys with these super deep champion pools for all these situations. Jace is historically such a difficult character to deal with in
really
lane matchups. Yeah, he's great for those types of situations, but if you can prove, hey, this is no longer a safe blind pick versus our team, that's a massive advantage in drafts.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things where sometimes, you know, it's frustrating when people talk about a solo queue picks on work.
Inspired has already gone in for a big engage here with a crescent sweep as Isles has to try to escape, and Shaden's now the target here on the front line. The Sejuani's about to die, but both the Rakan and Sejuani survive as the shutdown on Inspired comes through for Kaney. FlyQuest may have overextended a little bit here, got a little bit too hypey, but Bwipo is not one to slow down, continuing to find the damage, and the spear, the Q, secures the kill on Kaney as FlyQuest continue to retreat, and Busio with another massive Pop Blossom! Quad flies in, and Dignitas fall to pieces. A beautiful ulti from the Nico of Busio for the second time this game, and this time it's gonna seal the deal. Only Shaden's left alive. That Sejuani ain't leaving the fountain, and FlyQuest 28 minutes in, 19-6. Game 1 was easy for him.
Beautiful game from FlyQuest. I'm so mad at Bwipo right now that I have to evac.
Care what the AD carry that you slot in is. It's going to be Sivir, which makes sense. You know, you do have a lot of strong waves clear. You clearly want to play through side lanes when you're playing this sort of comp with 3 globals. You want to be active on the map. So you
Shaden trying to use the each-stall impact there as Kaney versus Quad over here in the mid lane. Kaney now with a health advantage. The Kingslayer giving him so much extra HP to work with here. Quad needs one more hit. The auto attack in the air. Kaney, you on the other side of the map, so he can't quite reach. Inspired's going to lead the charge forward. Now Shaden has secured the first grub, and he finds the Impale, but it's only onto Inspired. The Pantheon's going to be the focus here at the start. Fourth shot coming in. Inspired gets himself back away. Dignitas continuing the attack as Inspired is down to 300 HP, but Quad has made his way into the fight, and Isles has to try to run. Busio looking for the stun, immediately followed up with a Comet Spear, and Inspired.
Silas, which is obviously a very slow build.
Okay, Busio and Masu ready to take the 2v2, make it a 3v2. Grand Starfall spells Tomo's doom back in the mid lane. Bwipo slammed up into the wall as Kaney's going to be the focus yet again. Tomo dies to the Sivir up in the top side as Kaney barely lives. Quad taken down to 100 HP, and Surdy turns and burns him. Bwipo's about to die now too as Inspired claims Isles' life up in the top side, but a double kill back over to Surdy in mid lane. A tale of 2 battles.
Coming through from Shaden to keep Kaney alive, and now Surdy gets paid.
Honestly, it was perfect timing there from Dignitas. As soon as Bwipo flashed in, the cavalry shows up.
In fact, there's no chance they can keep this alive.
No,
they're not keeping
not a
it
shot.
alive.
And it's first turret of the game. They already had the feat of warfare, so that means but Busio also moving around here to try to find the Dignitas escapee. And now the support and jungle duo of FlyQuest going after Surdy. Quad's ready to join up, and that's a killing spree for Inspired. Surdy, he ends up spending his flash just to waste a little bit of FlyQuest time.
And that should also stop this Rift Herald push, right? So it's going to give Cryo back to FlyQuest so they can potentially go in on this Drake, as Bwipo is also just pushing topside.
Exactly. Bwipo takes the tower, top lane, Inspired. Yes, he ults in. The last one didn't work this time. He forces the flash. They get the kill. They take the tower. And that is really tough for Surdy. And it's just difficult in these situations. They haven't been able to really get a lot of deep vision, which means you can't track the Pantheon.
Surdy's multi-kill gold lead has now been reduced to less than the value of a cannon minion. In the meantime, Bwipo took the tier 1 turret up in the top lane, and we now have Soul Point
Without AD Nidalee.
Yeah, and they're going to get this mid-tier 1 as well. And I think that is, again, the super dangerous thing about FlyQuest.
Busio at half HP, already using the Unbreakable Will. Dignitas want to try to let that fade away. Kaney now using his own stolen Alistar ultimate as Bwipo zones him off. The Drake itself down to 4,000 HP. FlyQuest moving back into contestant, allowing it to reset here just a little bit as Bwipo and Kaney keep scrapping off to the side. The Infernal Drake going to be claimed by Inspired, and Dignitas is about to have a real bad time. Shaden is already down. They try to use Isles to tackle Inspired into the wall, but it ain't going to matter. The Grand Entrance already there to protect him. The Dignitas jungler still the only casualty. The Infernal Soul is the prize. Surdy is running towards the wrong base again, and FlyQuest are going to kick him straight out of their jungle as Masu picks up another kill. The taunt of the Galio. Busio and Masu making a little bit more space. Unbreakable Will from Busio, but he's already very low. Curtain Call looking to snipe Masu down, but he gets out of the range in time. Inspired about to take a couple more bullets. Got to be careful about that one. Blocks up the last one with the shield as Bwipo then tries to escape, but a nice pull from Shaden. Finds Quad. They get the enemy mid laner. Dignitas get a pick, and they really needed one. Bwipo goes back in, trying to make some kind of a revenge play, but instead gives a second kill over to Dignitas. 2 kills plus 1 turret. It's not going to bring them back.
Where they do have these long games, even when they do fall behind, because they're unwilling to quit, right? Like if they do see an angle, they will try to go in.
And they got 1.5 or 2,000 of that gold lead back, but now FlyQuest wants to return the favor. They immediately 4v1 Surdy. There's no way for the Rumble to get out of that one. And with that big team fight damage threat that you guys were talking about earlier out of the picture, FlyQuest now see an easy opening to go in for the Otacon, an easy opening to go in for the mid laner. Kaney knocked down to 20% HP, forced to flash away. FlyQuest now know this Otacon is theirs, free and clear.
The question is, do they just start Baron after as well? I feel like they can. You just push Kaney back to base. Surdy is still dead. You know the Equalizer's on cooldown even when he reses. They're pushing mid lane, but the Baron's going to be gone in a hurry.
Yeah. And it seems like Dig have accepted it, right? They already TP Kaney in to try to push in that bot tier 1. They themselves are pushing in up on mid. So Otacon and Baron over to FlyQuest, and they'll try to get this bot tier 1 off of it. He should be able to get on the next push.
Yeah, Kaney needs a little bit more minion time here on the turret. Looks like nobody from FlyQuest will try to arrive and save the thing. So Kaney can at least get that, get a little bit more objective bounty money back towards Dig. So the gold lead is actually just about where it was before the initial pick onto Surdy, leading into the 2 objectives, because Dignitas managed to take the 2 turrets in trade for the death, plus Otacon, plus Baron. But the problem is, FlyQuest now have permanent Otacon power. They have the Baron for the next 3 minutes to snowball that gold lead further and further ahead. So now the job for Dignitas is very difficult. Dig in, defend, and try to hold as many of these towers that are still standing as you can.
Dig in, I see what you did there.
Man, that's...
Freak is with us still.
Oh,
that was not intentional. That's I'm not trying to step on Freak's toes here. That is his territory.
No,
that's,
you get credit for it.
I don't want it.
Too bad.
Freak can have it. That's
Dig
his
in
world.
right now.
No, man, that's his world.
Well, FlyQuest are actually digging in because they're going to get the push on this bot side off of the Baron minion. But again, they're just making it so difficult, right? You could see even in that Otacon setup, it's so dark. We have this kind of spread of FlyQuest members that make it really dangerous for Dig to even walk up. As they have the push and the pressure from the Baron minions, they'll be able to get this in with the Talia wall as well.
Yeah, the classic Talia wall to go for the tier 3 turret push. Inspired shield blocks a lot of damage, but he still has to flash away.
Maybe make something happen, but without that, they've got no chance.
And they're about to walk into a brush that FlyQuest has full ownership of. Grand entrance right down over the top from Bwipo as Shaden's locked up by the Justice Punch, and the Dignitas jungler is already down. Kaney's about to join him. Bwipo staying on top of that mid laner yet again as Isles tries to get away off to the side, barely surviving here with 100 HP. Bwipo with another 2-man taunt, and Dignitas are staring at black and white screens. Kaney and Isles still stumbling away, but not for long. Inspired with a grand starfall for the grand funeral of the Dignitas mid laner. Elders not even required. FlyQuest are marching down mid lane, marching down bot lane, marching down whichever lane they would like to march, because Dignitas's base and all of Summoner's Rift belong to them. Isles can't cut the wave. FlyQuest has found themselves at the Dignitas Nexus. 31 minutes and 45 seconds, right about on time with their average time. Shaden gets a pull kill onto Bwipo, but it ain't gonna matter. FlyQuest will sweep this series. They will finish their group at the tip top, 3-0.
Lock it in. Next week, we're getting FlyQuest versus C9. Both teams top their group, and we are going to have the